Okie dokie, it's time to shoot another backyard video. It is February 16th, it's a Sunday, and it's 2020. That's right, it's another backyard video. Uh-oh, I'm curious to see how this video is actually going to turn out. I did take some notes before getting into this video, but the reason I'm curious is because I'm going to be sharing in a general way where I'm at in my life right now, because I notice a lot of times when it comes to like looking for mentorship or looking for a coach or a guide, it's hard to connect or relate because all I do is I see the end result, or I see where they're at their level of success, and I don't know the story or the whole story. I don't have anything to go off of as far as them being in the trenches. Everything is all shiny and polished and glossy, and sometimes that's what can get in the way of building relationships with certain people if I'm not aware of it. And I have done that in the past, and I don't want to do that anymore. I do want to dig deeper and find out what people's stories are, as far as what was it like as they were going through the trenches to get from where they were to where they are now. I'm just sharing and documenting this experience of going from nothing and turning nothing into something. So I'm going to share in a general way, but before I did, because I'm in this backyard setting, which I'm really in my backyard, and the neighbors, they're over here, and I have some neighbors over there, and I got some neighbors in front of us on the other side. So I have 3 different neighbors, and because I'm going to be sharing this this personal, I'm sharing my internal world, that is correct, but I'm sharing personal information, and it's not about success. So there is a little hesitation because 1 is I'm going to be sharing this publicly, and 2, I'm also sharing it in the backyard, which is semi-public with, people's windows are open and they could be hearing part of my story, which is not very glossy, shiny, polished, or pretty at the moment. It's pretty ugly, but it's a beautiful ugly, if that makes sense to you. The beauty is in the ugliness of what I'm experiencing currently, and this video is not about getting into the problem, staying in the problem, and then getting into things like self-pity or resentment or self-condemnation and judgment and negative thoughts, because that's easy to do, and I have a great track record with that. I'm just not interested in living like that anymore. So me, in sharing the problems that I'm facing, the challenges or the obstacles, I'm doing so in order to hopefully give others hope that if you're where I am currently, that your life can change, because I believe my life can change. I also believe others can change, and I know it's true because I've seen plenty of evidence throughout my lifetime. And I know sometimes when it gets dark or we're in our bottom, it's hard to see the truth. And the truth is we can all change at any time, and change is now. So there's a little bit of a vulnerability sharing this stuff in my backyard and to the public here. But here it goes. Like I said, I'm going to share it in a general way. I'm not going to give you all the nitty-gritty exact details down to the penny, but I would like to expose some of the things I'm going through and experiencing on a little bit deeper level than the videos I've been sharing lately. I'm going to also title this video Pulling Back to Move Forward. So let's take a little trip before I get to those inventory type details, why I called this, or want to call this video Pulling Back to Move Forward. And what I mean by getting out in the cosmos is because I don't really know how to express this. This is just how I was thinking about my life this morning in terms of hitting rock bottom, because I've hit rock bottom many times before in my life. I happen to be at another rock bottom right now, and I'm turning it around. So hitting bottom I'm going to switch hands with the Joby here. Hitting bottom can be like pulling a bow back in order to shoot my arrow forward. So you have the bow, you have the arrow, and you have the target with the bullseye. And then I started to go a little bit deeper on what each one of those things is about. So the bow or the bottom is like stored energy. And that's where I can build momentum. It's my launch pad. So the bow is the piece of wood, and then there's the string, right? So if that bow is pulled back, that's that launch pad. That's where I can start to take that stored energy and be ready for it to be, propelled towards the target, and then hopefully hitting the bullseye. And that's where hope and belief and faith come into play. So moving on from the bow, which is the stored energy, the rock bottom, that's where I can continue to build up that energy, that power, that strength. The arrow is my message, my mission, and that has to deal with where and how I allocate my time, my money, and my attention. And as I construct and build on my message and my mission, this is how I can spend my time, money, and attention. I can develop a foundation for the arrow to be shot through the cosmos towards the target and bullseye. I can build blueprints and come up with frameworks and processes and systems. I can also arrive at these conclusions by learning from others' shared experience. The target is what I'm aiming for. So whether I'm dealing with the bow or the arrow or the target, aim is always involved. And that comes down to how, again, I allocate my time, money, and attention. And as far as the target and the bullseye and the aim is concerned, the target and the bullseye can be my cause, right? How can I conduct myself in this world to where I can serve the greater good of all? Outcomes, results, achievements, dreams, ambitions, those, my friends, are my target, or where I am aiming. And if I want to be really specific, that's what the bullseye is all about. So the bullseye is specificity. That doesn't mean just because I'm at a bottom and I am searching for my voice, I'm searching for developing my message, and I am building a mission to where I can continue to help others, and I can move forward or move in the direction of that target, which is the cause on a greater scale. What was I even talking about? See, this is what I was saying. It was about to get wild, and we're going to get out in the cosmos and in the stars, because this is just, starting to come to my mind in different ways as far as how I'm viewing things and thinking about things. So yeah, I didn't know. Oh yeah, here it is. I lost my train of thought, but I got back on the train. So as far as outcomes and the cause and the results, I don't want to necessarily just be in the results business. I want to be in the business of serving others, and I want to leave the results in my God's hands or in my higher power's hands. I'm not in the results business. The higher power can be in the results business for me. I'm just here to put in the footwork and share what I find along the way as I move in the direction of the target or the bullseye. So that's full circle on what I started with thinking about this morning as I was driving to attending one of the recovery meetings that I go to. And as I was driving, I was like, oh, you know what, that makes sense. And then when I came home, it was still in my mind. It didn't leave me. So that's why I wanted to put it down and share it. But as far as getting to the pulling back to move forward outside of the simile or the metaphor, whatever you want to call that, I don't know which one it is. I think because it says it's like pulling back a bow, it's a simile, but I'm not an English expert by any means. So as far as pulling back and sharing this experience that I'm having in a general way, which is like a mini inventory that I'm going to be sharing with you, for me it's to just start sharing. And again, get out of my own way, get out of the results, and just let you know what's going on in my life. So where I'm at, I'm 38. I've shared this in other videos, so if it's redundant, Maybe this is the first time somebody's been exposed to a video of mine and they have no idea where I'm at and how the hell they're going to relate to me or what I'm trying to convey. So I'm 38 years old. I'm broke. I was, let's just say, more broke than I am right now because I have a job and I've been trying to earn. I've been focusing on being of service and earning a little bit of income. So what it's like to be 38 broke in debt and starting a new career, which is part of why I'm making these videos, because I am in pursuit of finding new ways of helping people. And the way I want to do that is through sharing my message. I want to be able to share my experience. I want to be able to share the hope that's been given to me with others as well, to where they can hopefully turn their lives around if that's what they're looking to do, if someone else is looking to transform who they are and their life. So moving on from that, I've been able to, like I said, I was broke. I'm starting to get out of being broke, and I'm slowly starting to save a little bit of the money I'm earning. I was making, or I've been making, only $15 an hour, but it wasn't about the money. It was just about getting in, or it wasn't about the amount of money. It was just about getting in the rhythm of being in service and earning. I'm starting to repay my debts. I have a reoccurring payment that goes to the IRS every month. And I also have some other debts to other folks that I am paying monthly as well. I have a minimum that I'm paying them, but when I do have a little extra money, I do add a little more to the debts that I'm repaying. But I am not my debt. I still do need to take care of myself, and that does come first, but I need to also take care of these responsibilities as I move forward in my life. The earning in the job has been key to being able to do that. I've moved out of my last apartment, which was crazy expensive, after I closed down my gym, my business, my brick and mortar. I moved out of that because the rent was so high, plus having the rent of my business on top of that, that was like $7,000 a month. Or more. That wasn't including other like little bills just to have the space. And what I did was I moved into, gratefully, my girlfriend's mother's home because she is in Thailand, and I'm truly grateful to be able to be living here right now because it's allowing me to have a little bit less stress in my life, because I know what it's like to be homeless. I've been homeless already 2 times in my life. I've lived on rooftops. I've lived in the backseat of my car at one time when I got sober. I've also, when I wanted to build my brick and mortar business, I started off in a 600 square foot space. I lived on the floor for 1.5 years. Then I upgraded to a bigger facility. I built a loft in there. I lived there for 1.5 years out of the business, illegally probably, until I was able to get my own apartment and run the business. But 8 years down the road, it didn't work out the way I was hoping it would work out in terms of being able to afford moving forward at scale to have a greater impact and help more people. So I closed it down. So it's nice to be able to live somewhere and pay rent. I'm still paying rent. I'm not here living free. And I also do a lot in order to help make the environment as nice as possible concerning yard work and fixing things around the house or around the place that I get to live currently. So that's a part of my deal to myself, and showing my gratitude for this opportunity to pull back and move forward in my life. And my 4Runner just broke down. So I don't have a vehicle of my own at the moment. The place I was trying to get it fixed, I spent some money on a part. It was fixed for a couple months. It broke down in the same manner. I took it back in, and they said they were going to put another part in it. I showed up to pick it up, and guess what? They didn't put the part in because they said they ordered the wrong part. Big, long story. End of the story, or the moral of the story is, I still have a car that's broken. It don't run. Like, I can get it from kind of point A to point B, but it's really scary because it just kind of shuts off whenever it wants, and it would be a bad thing if it shut off when I was in the middle of an intersection, if you know what I mean. Not good. So I'm borrowing a car, which was a car that was given to my girlfriend that she just has as a spare car. So I drive it. It's, again, another token of generosity that I am truly grateful for, because it's what's helping me get to and from work. And what else? Oh yeah, I mentioned this in another video. My teeth are all jacked up, so I got to get braces. Even though I had them when I was younger, got to do it again because my teeth are starting to hurt due to being wore down, because they are rubbing against each other, top and bottom teeth on the front of my mouth. I also have a busted up knee that I need to definitely get surgery on in the future, because it makes my life pretty gnarly day to day, just walking around, going on hikes or working out. I can barely squat anymore. So that's in the future plans. But the cool thing is, side note to that is, I've had chronic neck pain for 10 years. So I want to share another moment of gratitude. For 10 years, I've had chronic neck pain, and thank God that Dr. Spina and Dr. Shivers from the Functional Range Systems out of Toronto, Canada, do what they do. I was able to spend a little bit of the last of my money from my business to fly up to Toronto and get an assessment from them, and then get homework as far as joint mobility is concerned. And I've been putting in the work for the past year since I saw them, and it has profoundly changed my life, including my mental state, my emotional state, and my physical well-being. My quality of life has increased infinitely because of what I was experiencing day to day due to chronic neck pain. So that has got so much better. It's not 100% like as if I was, 13 years old again, but I'm nowhere near that dark pit of pain that I was in for so long. So yeah, I still got to get some other joints looked at and fixed up, that's for sure, but my knee is the one that is the most glaring defective body part in my body currently. It's going to need some attention because it hurts like hell some days. What else? Okay, so that's what I wanted to share as far as some of the things that are going on in my life as I'm rebuilding it. And I said this a little bit earlier in the video, I'm truly in pursuit of finding new ways of helping people. And that's why I'm practicing making these videos. I'm practicing opening up a little bit more, sharing not just results and successes, but sharing these difficulties, challenges, and obstacles that I face and that we all face as humans in our lifetimes. But the aim there is I'm trying to find out how I can better serve other people. And how I'm doing it is by documenting and taking notes of all the things that I'm learning and doing currently in regards to developing a message, sharing that message with an audience, and then creating different information products, coaching or consulting to help people who are facing the same challenges, pains, or they're suffering in the same ways, and they deep down inside their heart want to transform those obstacles, challenges, pains, or suffering. So that's what I'm aiming for. And what I'm doing about this little inventory list that I made for you is I'm showing up, taking action, staying willing, doing the work to the best of my capacity, some days better than others, learning from others, and being of service, sharing my experience. So although I am at a bottom, I'm staying focused on those simple components to starting my life over. And because of that, my days are much brighter. My thoughts are way more positive. These actions that I'm taking, like a gentleman shared today, is restoring his hope and helping his hope grow. And I know for me that hope leads to belief and conviction and faith that it will all work out, including it'll work out for somebody like me, because I know what it's like when my mind tells me, yeah, it can work for everybody else but me. And then I was listening to another video the other day where a guy was talking about, you're not an exception to the rule. You're not unique. You're not different. If I can do it, you can do it. And sometimes that's hard to hear. Even for me, it's hard to hear, but it is true. We can all change, and we can all change at any time, no matter the circumstance, no matter what's going on. The situations might be different, but deep down inside, we all got to face the same things in order to grow within our lives. And I'm starting to track down fear. What is it that I'm afraid of? And then finding that where the fear is, there is a way. And I'm not saying that I'm supposed to go and do everything that I'm afraid of in life. Like, okay, I stand up on the edge of a bridge that's a couple hundred feet up in the air and it's nothing but rocks down below, and because I'm afraid I should jump off the bridge. No, that's not the context that I'm speaking from or talking about. I'm saying things like, say someone wanted me to attend a speaking engagement, and that kind of stuff scares the bejesus out of me, scares the shit out of me, but yet when I do that, I love it. It's such a passion of mine. I enjoy it once I'm up there doing the act of sharing for people. But the process of getting there comes with anxiety, comes with nervousness, comes with negative self-talk, X, Y, Z. But when I follow through and say yes to when someone invites me or asks me to do such a thing, and I follow through and I show up and I do that, I always feel so good after that. I get so juiced up. That's just an example of the kinds of fears that I'm talking about. Maybe it's shoot a video. I'm afraid of shooting videos and sounding stupid, and what is everybody going to think of me, and these videos are pointless, they don't mean nothing to nobody, and yada yada yada. Well, if I'm afraid of that, and I have another thought that says that could potentially be helpful for somebody else, it could potentially be helpful for me, because the act of service is how I am helped. And then it also helps others as I'm doing that, which is super, super cool. If I'm afraid of that, that's what's there for me to do. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, we're at 22 minutes. I don't want to continue to talk more, but it's Sunday. I'm being a little bit quieter because, yes, I am in the backyard. I don't want everybody to know all my dirty laundry, but I did want to share this. I wanted to share a little bit of my inventory in a general way with you. So as I continue to move forward in the direction of success, including success in my finances, including material success, including spiritual and relationship success and health success, as I continue to move forward and expose these successes that I have along the way, that's not all I want people to see. I want people to also see what I was doing in the times of despair, in the times of grief, in the times of feeling doubtful and insecure and afraid. I want to share these moments just as much as those moments as they show up, because I know they will show up. I believe they will. I'm willing to put in the work for them to show up. And the things that I'm really focused on right now are continuing to build character, continuing to improve my finances, continuing to be able to help people on a greater scale. Like, these are very interesting to me today because I haven't cracked the code on those things. As far as being shown how to live by spiritual principles, I've been practicing that for 15 years, and it's transformed my life through other people showing me what they did in order to live that way, and I have that to share. So I also want to share what I do have in this moment right now before I acquire these other attributes or these other positive character traits. I do have things to give, and it's also sharing those things that I do have currently on the path as I move forward, as I'm pulling the bow back and shoot that arrow out into space towards the bullseye. So on that note, I will end this video. We're at 24 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that. I can't wait to make another one, even if my mind tells me, no, do this, do that, do a million other things besides make a video. You don't want to do that. You're too tired. You don't have the energy to do that. And then I can question, but I can open my mind and question, but do I have the willingness to do that? And today, my mind said, you're too tired. You should take a nap. But I opened my mind and asked that question: am I willing to make another video despite what others might think of me or how they may judge me? That's none of my business what others think. So anyway, I thought I was going to end the video a little bit sooner. Guess not. But yeah, I still want to say this at the end of my videos. I don't know exactly how to word it, but I'm interested in opening up a conversation with anybody who's listening to these videos in order to learn more about you and how I can help you. That is what I'm focused on. I want to know what you're going through. What are you struggling with? What hardships are you faced with? I want to know, because maybe we can relate. We can identify with one another. And in that connection, we can start to build a relationship where we can be in the ship together to move in the direction of bettering our lives. But you don't have to do it alone. I don't have to do it alone. We can do this together. And that's the conversation that I'm trying to figure out how to explain, as far as the conversation I want to open up. I don't know exactly, what I'm saying is, I don't know exactly how to explain that, but that's the conversation I'm trying to open up with anybody that is willing to do the work as well. You can't do the work for me. I can't do the work for you. But we can share our experiences, our insights, our mistakes, the lessons, the teachings, the principles. We can share those things, and we can rocket each other into the future faster than ever than as if I was to do this on my own or you were to do it on your own as well. And that's where I'll end the video.